Well, the House of Representatives has resumed its sitting after the holiday recess. Karen Cozier-Phillip is outside Parliament with some of our top stories tonight. Karen?
Good evening, Rishi, and good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Education Minister Anthony Garcia took the opportunity in Parliament today to respond to the Maxi Taxi Drivers Association for Schools Transport, who withheld their service today. We'll have more on that story shortly. But first, Chief Justice Ivor Archie has strongly criticized some of the recommendations in the report of the Committee on Judicial Appointments submitted to him by the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking at Monday's opening of the 2018-2019 law term, Chief Justice Archie called for members of the fraternity to be mindful of the contributions they make and, more importantly, the effects they may have. Janine Browne has more.
Me please to make a general plea for us to stop dividing this country by careless and unfounded commentary.
Chief Justice Ivor Archie at Monday's opening of the 2018-2019 law term as he commented on the Law Association's June 2018 report of the Committee on Judicial Appointments. The Chief Justice outlined several recommendations he did not agree with, among them LAT's call for diversity.
One is also not entirely sure from the report whether other concerns about diversity surround sex or gender, which are of course different concepts. But again, I venture to suggest that at the High Court level there is no shortage of females, while the appellate bench simply reflects past historical trends for entry into the profession.
Mr. Archie's focus on the recommendations has come as LAT continues its investigation into the Chief Justice, whose appeal to the Privy Council seeking to halt the investigation was turned down. But for the Law Association's President and Senior Counsel Douglas Mendes, the Chief Justice's criticisms were not taken personally. For him, it comes with the territory.
I look at it this way. If you stand above the crowd and people see you standing above the crowd, then you tend to be a target. So if the Law Association decides that it's going to make comments on matters that pertain to the judiciary, and the judiciary doesn't like it, or the Attorney General doesn't like it, or whoever it is, then we're going to be a target.
There are, however, some aspects of the report that the CJ did agree with.
The recommendation that the composition of the GLSC be expanded to include human resource professionals and other suitable members of civil society is welcomed.
Mr. Mendes said LAT would request a meeting with the CJ as well as the Attorney General and the opposition leader,
with a view to seeing if we can arrive at some consensus as to the reforms that are necessary. But I think that it is crucial at this point in time that we engage in that process before we start a new round of appointments of judges.
Janine Browne, TTT News.
Well, Chief Justice Ivor Archie has dismissed as false certain media reports which make serious allegations against him. Mr. Archie addressed the matter as he opened his address at the start of the 2018-2019 law term. While he did not expand on what exactly was false, he had this to say.
Over the past 10 months, it is true that the judiciary has been faced with the challenge of me being the subject of more than 20 articles making false and unsubstantiated allegations. It has never been my position that I am not accountable, but all too often, rumor and innuendo, when continually regurgitated, miraculously assume the mantle of fact.
And he said while he has been restrained against his legal response thus far, there's a possibility that could change.
I do reserve my right at an appropriate time to such recourse as I have as a private citizen.